Welcome to AK Anime Explainer. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Absolute Resonance Part 24 based on novel. So let's start. A few rounds of drinks later, Li Luo judged that it was about time and suggested they call it a night. After all, everyone was probably tired after the exams, so perhaps they should all head back for a good night's rest. The others were a little reluctant, but they still nodded agreement. Pa? Just at that moment, a crisp slap was heard outside the curtain. Watch where you're going, eh? Pulling aside the curtain, a South Wind student was clutching his face, staggering to the floor, dazed. Behind, a young man walked in, greeting them with a smile. Sorry for disturbing your celebration. This guy wasn't watching where he was going and bumped into me. He pointed at the youth on the floor. And so you hit him? Jiang Qing'e said, raising an eyebrow coldly. Spotting her, a gleam entered his eyes. He had already identified this girl as something special while observing from upstairs. Up close, she was truly a delight. Those features, that bearing, she was definitely a prize even in the Astral Sage College. He smiled apologetically at Jiang Qing'e. Sorry. Reacted too quickly. You must be South Wind Academy students. Seems like you did well this year. I'm an Astral Sage College student. I'll probably be your senior in the future. Mo Ling grinned. Hearing this, the South Wind students looked at him in surprise. This person was from the Astral Sage College? Li Luo fixed him with a look. Seems like a hostile presence. I just wanted to meet the champion of the Qianshu province's exams. Mo Ling said, looking back at him with a lopsided smile, but truly, an 8th seal taking first place. The Qianshu province must have many troubles. A surge of angry glares. He's here to make trouble, Jiang Qing'e said softly to Li Luo. He nodded almost imperceptibly, then stepped forwards to Mo Ling. Friend, we do not know each other, he said in a hushed voice. No need to cause trouble, right? Feigning surprise, Mo Ling said, what are you talking about? I'm just here to say hi as your future senior. You what? You want to assassinate me? Li Luo shouted out hysterically. Mo Ling jumped. What, assassinate? Was this guy wrong in the head? Since when had he ever said, assassinate? He was just here to exact some petty revenge on Song Chuyu's behalf. Protect the young lord. While he was still confused, a few figures appeared, resonant power at the ready. They were all at the resonant master stage. These were Li Luo's bodyguards. Although House Loulan was not in a good situation, the young lord would still be accompanied by bodyguards. That was just common sense, wasn't it? Although these bodyguards rarely made their presence known, hearing the word assassinate brought them all ready to spring into action. They immediately rushed over without hesitation, crowding Mo Ling. His face changed. I didn't. I was just going to greet him, he cried. He was caught completely off guard. Before he had even started anything, this guy had already sicked his bodyguards on him. They ignored his protest and started to pummel him with resonant power charge punches and kicks. Mo Ling hurriedly brought forth his own resonant power in defense. However, he was perhaps only as strong as one of the bodyguards. With so many of them around, he was soon yelping on the ground, enjoying knuckle sandwiches by the dozen. The South Wind Academy students were watching, astounded. This young lord was a real enigma. He had called the teacher last time, and this time it was bodyguards in action. It seemed like it was impossible to ever face him in a fair fight. Still, this time the guerrilla tactics left them feeling extremely satisfied. Above, Song Chuyu and Differ Jingming were shocked at the turn of events as well. Throwing down their cups, they hurried over. What are you doing? The two shouted. They immediately called forth their own resonant power, ready to intervene. With a wave of his hand, Li Luo's bodyguards retreated, leaving Mo Ling on the floor, cradling his bruised face. Young Lord Li Luo, you're a tyrant. Why did you order your bodyguards to attack him? Song Chuyu demanded. Brother. Differ Jing gasped at seeing Differ Jingming. That Song Chuyu, Song Yunfeng's elder sister. And differ Jingming, Lu Qing'e said to Li Luo. This guy must be here to cause trouble on their behalf. Li Luo looked at the two and smiled. Are you with him? He tried to assassinate me. Could you two be the masterminds? Damn, flipping the metaphorical table right from the get-go. Assassinate? Don't slander us. He's our friend, and he's just here to greet you as your senior. Song Qiuyu burst. Mo Ling crawled up from the floor as well, his face badly bruised. He glared angrily at Li Luo. When did I say that I was going to assassinate you? He was boiling with anger and humiliation. Damn, he hadn't even put his plan to motion before he was wrongly accused and jumped on. Shameless. Li Luo said in a hushed voice, I heard you say. Mo Ling shouted, I said I was here to say hi as your senior. Oh, is that what it was? Li Luo clapped his hands together. I've ruined things for many people today, so I was worried that there would be a few resentful ones who would try to kill me. I've been high-strung all day. I must have heard wrongly. Mo Ling shook in anger. How about this? I'll pay your tab today, as an apology, Li Luo said with a bright smile. Song Qiuyu's face was like ice. Given who they were, who would care about a table's tab? Li Luo had done this on purpose. Before Mo Ling could cause any trouble, he had decided to get the jump on him. Do I look like I need your paltry coins? Mo Ling spat at him. Li Luo smiled thinly at him. What else can I do? Song Qiuyu fell silent. They had intended to let Mo Ling come here and cause some trouble and anger Li Luo. He would probably lose his cool and challenge Mo Ling to a fight, then they could let him taste pain. But this young lord had none of that youthful hot-headedness, not even with a beautiful girl by his side. He was not a reckless one. And now that things had come to a head, they realized that they could not actually do anything to Li Luo, unless they wanted to jump him together and beat him up. But with so many bodyguards around, it would get really sticky. So finally, Song Qiuyu cast one more dark look at Li Luo, then she helped Mo Ling to his feet before leaving without a word. Differ Jingming was still regarding Li Luo. With a final smile, he turned to nod at Differ Qing, then he left with the others. Although they had left, the mood had been ruined, and the party broke up soon after. Li Luo and Lu Qing'e were standing at the foot of the Tower Qingfeng. Song Qiuyu is studying at the Resonance Tempering Hall in the Astral Sage College. She might have returned to challenge your Sun Creek Villa, Lu Qing'e said. The Sun Creek Villa had seen its production quality rise sharply thanks to Li Luo's spirit liquids. Their sales were booming, whereas Pine Nut Villa was gasping for air. Because of the Jiangsu province's Festival of Purifying Spirits next month. Li Luo murmured. Each year, the Jiangsu province would hold a festival related to spirit liquids and purifying lights. All of the brewers would take part, and there would be many games for them to win and vie for a larger share of the market. Li Luo also knew about it. The Sun Creek Villa was currently busy with preparations. As for Song Qiuyu, she was probably back for the festival as well. Li Luo frowned slightly. The Sun Creek Villa was blooming under his support. Sales were rising by the day, and sky gold was flowing in like a river, all to help him secure the funds to buy more 6th-grade spirit liquids and purifying lights. How could he let Song Qiuyu interfere with his greatest source of capital? Late night, Song family residence. Song Qiuyu was sitting in the living room with Mo Ling, channeling water resonance power from her slim hands to wipe away his bruises. Walking by, Song Shan noticed this and gasped slightly. What happened to Mo Ling? We were at the Tower Qingfeng. He wanted to greet the South Wind Academy students and talk about the Astral Sage College with them. Li Luo accused Mo Ling of trying to assassinate him and set his bodyguards on him, Song Qiuyu said irately. HNGH. Li Luo again. Song Shan sat down on the main chair, troubled and angry. Song Yunfeng being eliminated from the top 10 by Li Luo had made the joke of the Song family. And now treating their valued guest this way? It was too much. Brazen brat. If this happened in Xia City, he would be left eating through a straw. Mo Ling burst out angrily as well. He had been badly humiliated today, accused of being a killer before he had even done anything, and then beaten up badly. The Sun Creek Villa has seen explosive growth since Li Luo took over too. Their first and second grade spirit liquids and purifying lights have improved greatly in quality, and our pine nut villa is barely making ends meet. We think that he might be using a secret water source. Perhaps Li Taixien and Tan Tailan left it for him, Song Shan said tiredly. Our pine nut villa's wondrous sunshine light formula was corrected by a tempering master that I consulted in Xia City. It's definitely stronger than the Sun Creek Villa's azure jade spirit liquid. But our tempering strength has fallen behind so much. A special water source is the only explanation. Song Qiuyu frowned. If this continues, the Song's Pine Nut Villa will be completely ruined by the Sun Creek Villa, Song Shan grumbled. Song Qiuyu nodded with equal worry. Mo Ling looked at them and laughed. Qiuyu, why the long face? House Loulan's Sun Creek Villa isn't that outstanding when you look at the whole of Xia. They are just big fish in the small pond of the Tianshu province. Look at Xia City. How mediocre they are there. Those that do not bow when they speak have no back pains to complain of. Your Mo family's Inkwater Villa is among the best in the Xia Kingdom. Of course you can look down on the Sun Creek Villa, Song Qiuyu groused. Mo Ling sighed. Haven't we talked about this? In the future, all of the third grade and under spirit liquids and purifying lights from the Inkwater Villa can be sent to the Song family. The Song family will be the Inkwater Villa's retailer in the Tianshu province. Our Inkwater Villa formulas are several cuts above the Sun Creek Villas. With that power, the Song family will definitely beat the Sun Creek Villa flat. Song Shan's face was still doubtful even after such reassurance. But there are still some conditions yet to be worked out with the Inkwater Villa. Mo Ling made a grand gesture. Uncle Song, say no more. I know what you want. Part of the reason for my visit is to hammer out all the details on behalf of my elders. There are some concessions that the Inkwater Villa is willing to make. As long as our Inkwater spirit liquids and purifying lights can dominate the entire Tianshu market, both you and I will be winners. Besides, Li Luo is getting really cocky. I'm going to show him what it means to pay. Well. Song Shan finally smiled now, then he sighed with relief. I have much to thank you for. I know that the power of the Inkwater Villa is substantial, far more than what the Songs command. I will not say more, then, but I promise that the Song family will definitely help the Inkwater Villa gain footing here in the Tianshu province. Mo Ling assured him it was nothing. After chatting a bit more with Song Qiuyu, he left to rest. After Mo Ling left, the shy smile on Song Qiuyu's face vanished. Looks like it was useful to bring him to the Tower Qingfeng today. I didn't expect Li Luo to act that way. Otherwise, Mo Ling would not have conceded so quickly. He would have played for more time if not for Li Luo. Song Shan sipped his tea, his expression cheerless. Who's to say that letting the Inkwater Villa into the Tianshu won't be akin to letting the proverbial wolf into the house? Although their spirit liquids and purifying lights formulas will be handed over, I understand that those are unimportant. What is crucial are the secret water source and light source, the black swamp water and the white moonlight. It is these sources that make their Inkwater Villa formulas shine with full potential. We might be inviting them to wrap their hands around our throats instead. Song Qiuyu gave a soft laugh. Still, could it get any worse? Our market share in liquids and lights is paltry. Without strong support, we're just feeding the Sun Creek Villa at this point. Song Shan sighed deeply. Damned House Loulan. Damned Li Luo. Damn it all. Do not worry. I came back home precisely for the Festival of Purifying Spirits. I will represent the Pine Nut Villa as the foremost resonance artificer. With my win and the support of the Inkwater Villa's spirit liquids and purifying lights, we will be able to turn things around, Song Qiuyu said. Your rival should be the Sun Creek Villa's Yang Lingqing. Are you confident? Song Shan said. Yang Lingqing? Old rivals. We crossed paths countless times in the Astral Sage College. Song Qiuyu gave a cool smile. But this time, she will lose for sure. Song Shan nodded, feeling pleased. Song Chuyu changed the topic. How is Yunfeng? Not badly injured, but devastated, Song Shan replied. In the preliminaries, Li Luo had managed to beat Song Yunfeng to a marginal draw thanks to the water mirror art. Song Yunfeng had never once considered Li Luo an equal match, but now? In the exams, Li Luo had easily thrashed him, as if he were far below Li Luo in strength. It had crushed Song Yunfeng with a huge inferiority complex. Will he be able to make it into the Astral Sage College? Song Chuyu scowled. Song Shan hesitated. At the behest of the governor's mansion, Song Yunfeng had ended up helping Shu Huang against South Wind Academy. It had invited much loathing. However, his position in the preliminaries was clear. One of South Wind Academy's entrance slots should go to him. However, South Wind Academy's old dean was a stubborn rock, hard and petty as could be. He had not even shown courtesy to Governor Shi. Who knew what he would do? I hope Wei Sha isn't too unreasonable about this. The excitement after the exams continued for many days in the city of South Wind. Such was its influence. After the exams, the students at South Wind Academy would have a week off before they went to school to get their entrance slots and officially end their term at South Wind. Because he had gotten first place, Li Luo was being given a lot more attention, which was frustrating for him. For these past few days, he had not even gone outside, instead choosing to stay at home, quietly researching resonance arts. In his free time, he studied spirit liquids and purifying lights. It was an idyllic but fruitful time. Ting. In a practice room in the old manor, Li Luo was throwing a barrage of attacks at full power with his short swords. His target, a bodyguard in the old manor. He was at the first tier of the Resonant Master stage, the Sprouting Seed tier, and he was holding back as he sparred with Li Luo. In resonance cultivation, the Resonant Master stage came after the 10 Seals stage. The Resonant Master stage was divided into 3 tiers. The first tier was the Sprouting Seed tier, where the resonant power in one's palaces would be gathered into a seed-like lump and then be reborn anew. The second tier was the Pattern Genesis tier. At this tier, one's resonant power would start to mature and gain depth. This would create pattern marks across one's resonances, which were called resonance patterns, hence the name of the tier. The third tier was called the Evolving Resonance tier. At this tier, one's resonances would begin to change, in preparation for the breakthrough to the next tier. If 10 Seals stage cultivators were beginners, then it could be said that those at the Resonant Master stage had finally taken a step into the door to cultivation. The difference between them was huge. As for how huge, Li Luo was all too aware as they crossed swords. Although the bodyguard was holding back his strength to roughly a 10th Seals, Li Luo found that none of his attacks could pose any threat to his opponent unless he combined his swords and used his most powerful arrow. Ding! With a blue sheen of water edge on his swords, Li Luo chopped against the bodyguard's metal staff, but the rebounding shock sent him staggering back a few paces. He stopped, irritated. He flicked his hand towards his opponent, calling an end to it. Impressive, young lord. You're only an 8th Seal, but I feel the pressure. The bodyguard cupped his fist in respect. This was not empty praise. After he suppressed his resonant power, he could feel that Li Luo's attacks were indeed posing a threat. There were other bodyguards watching the practice arena as well. They were nodding to themselves too, and they looked at Li Luo in a new light now, with respect and satisfaction. His win at the Jiangsu province final examinations had forever banished his image as a useless cultivator with blank palaces. Even if Li Luo never reached Jiang Qing'e's level, no one would look down on him anymore. This young lord of House Loulan was gradually beginning to let his light shine. Li Luo responded with a smile and a nod, then he walked to the side of the training room. He spotted Cai Wei waiting for him there. Today she was in a red skirt, adorned with peony designs in lace. It was an intricate piece that only further emphasized her spicy bodyline. She was as alluring as a newly bloomed flower. In the sweaty heat of the training arena, many of the guys did not dare eye her openly, but they still surreptitiously snuck glances. The admiring gaze that was the nature of guys. Sister Cai Wei. Li Luo greeted her with a smile. The young lord is very diligent, training so hard even after your win, she said fondly. First place in the Jiangsu province doesn't hold much weight. I heard that the champions in the stronger provinces were 10th seal cultivators. He shook his head. His words were true. The Jiangsu province hovered around the middle in the Xia Kingdom. There were stronger provinces elsewhere. You were looking for me? Li Luo asked. Lingqing came over, so something's probably up, Cai Wei said. Let's go, then, he nodded. They left the training arena together, walking through a long corridor to a living room where they met young Lingqing, currently clad in green. She had on a pair of silver rims, which made her look especially strict. She started speaking the moment they were seated. Let me give you the update. Recently, the Sun Creek Villa's profits have been huge, thanks to the secret water source you've been providing. If the current profits keep up, this year's revenue could be 1 million sky gold. Subtracting away the capital, we would still have 300,000 sky gold in profits. Li Luo was exuberant. 300,000 sky gold was the entire profit of House Loulan in the Jiangsu province each year. This year, the Sun Creek Villa alone had achieved that. It was tremendous. Of course, this was mainly because of the secret water source that he had been providing. And now that he was an 8th seal, he could provide even more than before. Therefore, the water source usage had also expanded to their second-grade spirit liquids and purifying lights, contributing to an explosion in their revenue. He did some rough calculations. 300,000 sky gold should be able to get him about 10 6th-grade spirit liquids and purifying lights. Too few. Li Luo was resigned to it. He knew how hard it was to enhance acquired resonances. Finishing her report, young Lingqing continued, Did you meet Song Qiuyu a few days ago at the Tower Qingfeng? Was there a guy called Mo Ling with them? Li Luo nodded, surprised. That guy was trying to cause trouble. We had an altercation. Mo Ling is from the Mo family in the Beiqiu province. They are one of the major families dealing in spirit liquids and purifying lights. Their Inkwater Villa ranks in the top 10 in the whole Xia Kingdom. Their connections run very deep. According to our information, the Song family might choose to work with the Inkwater Villa and bring them into the Jiangsu province to crush the Sun Creek Villa, Cai Wei said softly. Li Luo frowned. The Song family had called for aid. It must have been Song Qiuyu who instigated that meeting at the Tower Qingfeng. She must have purposely set up the clash between Mo Ling and you to help ease their alliance. That woman has a calculative mind. There's nothing she won't stop at to get her way, young Lingqing said in a disapproving way. Li Luo gave a helpless smile. So he had inadvertently helped Song Qiuyu. He had underestimated her. Song Qiuyu must be back to take part in the Festival of Purifying Spirits next month. She will probably compete to be the best resonance artificer in the Jiangsu province, lending more strength to the Pine Nut Villa, Yang Lingqing said. Sister Yang, you're the representative of the Sun Creek Villa. Can you beat her? Li Luo asked. We are old rivals, we clashed many times in the Astral Sage College. We had wins and losses. I don't know how this match will turn out, but I will not underestimate her. I'll do my best to prepare, Yang Lingqing said, her fighting spirit glowing from behind her silver-rimmed spectacles. Song Qiuyu had ignited a spark in her. Seems like Sister Lingqing's archenemy, Li Luo joked. When you get to the Astral Sage College, you'll know just how sour things were between us. Yang Lingqing pulled a face before turning serious again. But I'm worried that they will force the Inkwater Villa's liquids and lights into our market. How good are the Inkwater Villa's products? Li Luo asked. If they enter the Jiangsu province, they are probably targeting 3rd grade and below. From what I know, the Inkwater Villa's 1st grade product is called the Black Star Spirit Liquid, tempering strength of 62%. Their 2nd grade product is called the Black Moon Spirit Liquid, tempering strength of 61%. And the 3rd grade product, the Black Glory Purifying Light, has a tempering strength 60%. Li Luo's eyebrows shot up. That was truly an established shop in spirit liquids and purifying lights. Such products outclassed anything the Sun Creek Villa could offer, and they would be even further behind if not for his water source. However, he was not too worried. While their formula might not be as polished, Li Luo was confident they had the advantage in water source. The first batch of improved azure jade spirit liquid that the Sun Creek Villa was currently offering was still based on his 5th grade water-light resonance. Therefore, if Li Luo wished, he could create an even purer batch of water source, by far. Because it had been sufficient so far, he had not brought it up. But if the Inkwater Villa was going to push the issue, then he was going to bring out the big guns. The three continued to discuss matters for a while, then Yang Lingqing left hurriedly to prepare for the Festival of Purifying Spirits. After she left, Cai Wei suddenly retrieved 3 glass vials from her bosom, setting them gently before Li Luo. This? Li Luo's gaze was drawn to them. There were faint light patterns on them. They were clearly of a much higher quality than any spirit liquids or purifying lights he had seen before. And he could sense the powerful flowing within the vials. 6th grade spirit liquids and purifying lights? Incredulous joy spread across his face. He had been using the remaining 5th grade ones, but he found them sorely lacking in efficacy after his water-light resonance reached the 6th grade. He had been agonizing over it for a long time. He wanted to ask Cai Wei to procure some, but the price made him hold his tongue. He eventually decided to purchase them after he made it to Xia City. But now Cai Wei had given him a wonderful surprise. Young lord, although I don't know why you can use seemingly unlimited amounts of spirit liquids and purifying lights, I'm not too curious. Your recent performance proves that they are worth it. Therefore, even though our cash flow is tight, your sister here scrimped and saved to help you secure these 3 6th grade spirit liquids and purifying lights. It's not much, but they should prove useful, Cai Wei said, glowing with pride. Her goose-egg face shone with radiance. Li Luo eagerly took them. He turned to Cai Wei, moved. If I wasn't afraid of being beaten by Sister Cai Wei, I would have hugged you already. Cai Wei laughed cutely, fanning herself with her flower fan as she batted her eyelashes at him. Save that talk for the girls at your school. To an older woman like myself, those honeyed words hold less power than that pretty face of yours. She left, her figure swaying in a stirring fashion. Li Luo watched her sexy figure go. He absently touched his cheek and sighed. Damned good looks. Even Sister Cai Wei couldn't help herself. Their short holiday came to an end, and Li Luo returned to Southwind Academy. Standing outside the campus, he looked upon the familiar gates with nostalgia. Today, he would formally end his term at Southwind Academy. All those years of memories come to a close. Still, whatever the future brought, Li Luo knew that his cultivation at Southwind Academy had molded him for years to come. The way that he still held an aversion to being in the spotlight was because of his hubris back when he had first entered Southwind. From his heroic ways to a blank palace cultivator, he had tasted both heaven and hell. The lesson had nurtured him not to show himself. He would rather hide himself tightly, grow in secret. Perhaps one day, when he was a duke or king, he could relax a little. Unfortunately, these exams had undone all of his past anonymity. Damn Shi Huang, damn Song Yunfeng. Li Luo cursed. He just wanted to breeze into the top 10, but those 2 bastards had forced his hand into taking first place. And that Lu Qing'e as well. It was obviously her win, Li Luo continued muttering. Ungrateful, aren't we? I let you win, and you're muttering behind my back, said a light-hearted girl's voice. Li Luo turned to see Lu Qing'e, dressed in Southwind Academy's uniform. Her willowy legs extended out beautifully from the short, black skirt, dipping down under her knee-high white socks. The creamy thighs sandwiched between them were riveting. Li Luo chuckled dryly. Lu Qing'e did not mind him. She stepped forth to walk by Li Luo's side, a small smile on her face. They were like the perfect couple, a hunk and a babe. Envious glances came from all around. Before, some taunting remarks would have made their way in, but now that Li Luo was the champion, his reputation had started to overtake Lu Qing'e's. As they walked in, many called out greetings, and they nodded appropriately in response. After passing through a boulevard, They heard shouting up ahead, where a crowd was forming. Song Yunfeng, you loser, you dare show your face at South Wind Academy. And other such remarks were being thrown around. Li Luo's eyes widened. Song Yunfeng? He dared to come to South Wind Academy? He quickened his steps, squeezing through the crowd with Lu Qing'e. He saw Song Yunfeng dressed in black, red-faced. He was flanked by 2 alert bodyguards from the Song family, here to protect him. In front of Song Yunfeng was a familiar figure, groaning and frothing blood at the mouth. Li Luo looked closer. Wasn't that you, Lan? What was that guy playing at? Brother Luo, Sister Qing, thank goodness you're here. This Song Yunfeng is too much. He not only dared to return after betraying South Wind Academy, he even slapped Yu Lang unconscious after he tried to greet him. It's outrageous. The students clamored upon seeing the duo. Li Luo was alarmed. Was Song Yunfeng really so boorish? He had to be aware that he had incurred the public wrath. Would he still start fights? Li Luo rubbed his nose. There was more going on here than there appeared to be. Especially whenever it involved the slippery Yu Lang. He stared at the groaning Yu Lang. His acting was way overboard. He had much to learn from Jiao Qing'e. You're full of shit. I didn't beat him, I just asked him to leave me alone and shoved him. I didn't even use strength. Song Yunfeng asserted furiously, a vein throbbing on his temple. He had not wanted to come to South Wind Academy at all, but the dean had sent a message to the Song family, saying that all who did not come personally to pick up their entrance slots would be automatically forfeited. Therefore, Song Yunfeng had no choice but to come, knowing the barrage of backlash that was sure to follow. Li Luo and Lu Qing'e shared a look. They ignored Song Yunfeng, sensing that there were larger factors at play here. And soon enough, a bunch of campus security was hurrying over, aggressively accosting Song Yunfeng and his bodyguards. What are you doing? The bodyguards shouted. You dare to beat up students on South Wind Academy school grounds? Are you tired of living? The security personnel shouted. With a huge surge of resonant power, they seized the 2 bodyguards and Song Yunfeng all together. From behind, the dean emerged, a whole group of teachers surrounding him. They were all looking angry, especially the dean. His shouting began from afar. You brazen dimwit, you've gone too far now. Do you think I'm already in the grave? How dare you disrespect South Wind Academy's rules? The old dean's rage had many students cringing in fear. Song Yunfeng's heart sank, uneasiness flooding through him. Looking about, the old dean seemed to spot the fallen Yu Lang. Song Yunfeng, he cried, you are heartless and cruel. You crippled him. Song Yunfeng was seething with rage. This was too much. He had only pushed Yu Lang away. Crippling? That was slander. The dean paid no attention to his furious gaze. From now on, I rescind the student status of Song Yunfeng from South Wind Academy. Throw them out. The security team obliged, casting the 3 out. Song Yunfeng still struggled furiously. I don't accept it. You can't kick me out, I've broken no rules. The dean looked at him coldly. Report me, then, if you don't accept it. Go tell the Astral Sage College. When they send out the order to fire me, you can enter the Astral Sage College. Song Yunfeng's furious shouting faded away as he was dragged out, finally vanishing from earshot. That acting was too dramatic, Li Luo said to Lu Qing'e in a low tone. If Song Yunfeng had made it into the top 10, then there would be nothing the dean could do about his entrance slot. But since you ensured he was out of it, the dean has many ways to deny him the placement, Lu Qing'e whispered back. Other deans might respect the rules, but our dean is a bit of a small-minded guy. He would throw away his pride to get the last word in an argument. A hush fell over the crowd as Song Yunfeng was dragged out, and then a smattering of knowing applause. The old dean put up a smug hand in acknowledgement, then indicated that they should disperse. He prodded the still moaning Yu Lang with his toe. Your acting needs work. If not for my lack of shame, we wouldn't have pulled it off. Yu Lang sprang to his feet, groaning. Dean, sir, your sudden mission gave me no time to prepare. Feelings need to be properly calibrated, you know? The old dean harumphed, but a smile remained on his weathered features. I can tolerate students not contributing to Southwind Academy's glory, but not those that betray us knowingly. No matter how much trouble it invites, I won't give them an ounce of Southwind spoils. Li Luo chuckled. The old dean's pettiness was legendary, but today it seemed quite adorable to many students. At least it had forced the unlawful expulsion of Song Yunfeng. Perhaps there was some merit to it. After Southwind Academy's graduation ceremony today, this cohort of students would be considered to have formally graduated. They would be heading to other college-level institutions all across the Xia Kingdom, continuing their cultivation or turning to other occupations. They might never meet again. After the ceremony, Li Luo, Lu Qing'e, Yu Lang, and Jiao Qing'e received a private summons from the dean to his garden. Thanks to you four, Southwind Academy has managed to keep the best school title this year. I guess I owe you thanks, he said, smiling at them over the bush he was pruning. Jiao Qing'e made a non-committal incline with his head. He knew that he had not done much other than ride Li Luo's coattails to glory. Yu Lang, on the other hand, was smiling as bravely as though he had bled and fought for Southwind Academy. Sir, it seems unnecessary to call us here just for thanks, Li Luo said. Am I really such a dead plank to you? The dean replied irritably. Dean, sir. Yu Lang burst out. You are my most respected person. I won't let you speak about yourself that way. Take the word dead out. The dean brandished his shears threateningly at Yu Lang, who leaped back in alarm. HMPH. From now on, you're not students of Southwind Academy. In 2 months, all of you will be headed for the Astral Sage College. That is the place where you young ones can chase your dreams. But regardless of where you eventually land, you will always be my Southwind Academy alumni. Although you all did quite well in the exam, that's no basis for arrogance. When you get to the Astral Sage College, you'll learn just how vast the Xia Kingdom is. There are plenty of crouching tigers and hidden dragons. Of course. If you can become like Jiang Qing'e, you can ignore what I just said. They nodded. Besides the more flighty Yu Lang, the other three were solid, grounded characters. Especially Li Luo. If not for this final exam, he would still be happily burrowed in anonymity, his bottom line untested. After his short parting speech, the dean reached into the folds of his clothes and pulled out pale yellow pills. Puffs of fragrance came from them. These are bitter lotus pills. When your resonant power reaches the 10th seal level, you may use one. They will accelerate your resonance consolidation, increasing the chances of success. Take these as an additional reward from the exams. The four were delighted. Pills were a rare sight, unlike spirit liquids and purifying lights, which were consumed in large quantities. They were more pricey, and it was an extremely generous gesture on the dean's part. They had heard that bitter lotus pills were distilled from the sap of trees of resonant power. Only large schools could cultivate such things. And for beginners still in the 10 seal stage, there was no better medicine than the bitter lotus pill. Many people failed multiple times when condensing their resonances. This cost them precious cultivation time. The bitter lotus pill could steady their transition. Sir, if anyone calls you a plank to my face, I'll be the first to teach them a lesson. Yu Lang vowed fervently. The old man shot him a sideways look but decided against replying to this slippery character. He handed over the pills. Go, then. I hate to admit it, but the Astral Sage College is truly an elite school, peerless in all of Xia. You'll only come in touch with the true reality of this world after you enter the Astral Sage College. Your futures are bright. I will be eagerly listening out for news of you here in Southwind Academy. Hearing the grudging honesty in his voice, the four were a little moved. They bowed to him and turned to leave. He laughed, calling after Li Luo, "Boy, you've made your parents proud." Li Luo halted. Looking up to the clouds rolling by above, he felt a lump in his throat. He had thought himself impervious to what others said, but the old dean's words had touched something within him. Perhaps all his hard work had not been for naught. Deep down, he knew that it was not that he wasn't concerned with the opinions of others, but simply that he cared too much about not letting his parents down. He loved those seemingly unreliable parents very much. And they loved him as well. After the South Wind graduation, Li Luo again returned to his previous rhythm. Just as he had said, he did not slack off just because of his victory. In the larger scheme of things, the exam was nothing but a small skirmish. After 2 months of holidays, he would head for the Astral Sage College. There, he would see the true crop of talent that existed in the Xia Kingdom. But this time, he swore to be even more anonymous at the Astral Sage College. In these 2 months, Li Luo set himself a target. He wanted to reach the 10th seal. If he could, he might even try consolidating his resonances and entering the Resonant Master stage. He had heard of other province winners being 10th seals. In another 2 months, the truly elite students could be at the first tier of the Resonant Master stage already. Li Luo felt that he could not let up. Of course, this was not the most important thing. His life was already ticking down from its 5-year limit. Although it was important to keep his head down, it was also important to survive. The holidays slowly rifted by. After about half a month, Li Luo found that he had reached the 9th seal, as he expected. Besides that, his practice with spirit liquids and purifying lights had seen swift improvements. He could already brew second-grade liquids and lights, and he could be considered a qualified second-grade resonance artificer. All in all, Li Luo was pretty satisfied with the progress that he had made in this half a month. As his resonant power inched ever closer to the Resonant Master stage, Li Luo started to leaf through the acquired resonance godly forging art that his parents had left him. There was another important question to consider. After he reached the Resonant Master stage, what primary and secondary resonance should he fill his second palace with? This video will end here.